money still chasing the mill. Wasn't lucky, I've been in the field. Got money still chasing the mill. Wasn't lucky, I've been in the field.
Yo, you know what it is, man. Another Monday night, another 10 p.m. Erin Boogie, Rapz, In the Field Radio.
On 91.3 FM WVKR, Poughkeepsie Independent Radio. It feels like it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. That's why I'm hyped right now. I'm hyped to be back.
Yo, for real.
Hyped to be back in the building. But you already know, man. I seen you was on a little bit of a vacay this week or past weekend, whatever it was, man. Where you was at?
I was in Texas for the first time.
That's dope. That's dope. I seen you were you were in Houston, right?
I was in Houston and Austin.
Okay, so I seen in Houston that you were at NASA. Is that?
Yeah.
Yo, so this might be like a I was today years old when I found out kind of moment. But I'm seeing you out there and I'm like, yo, she's at these NASA, she's at these space stations, she's meeting astronauts. And then I'm like, dang, Houston, we have a problem. Really had meaning to Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, I was today years old when the synapse connected in my brain.
Oh my God. It took that for it to happen.
Yeah, for real. How was it though?
It was good. I definitely didn't get everything I wanted to do out there accomplished as far as sightseeing. So now I feel like I need to go back, and I definitely need to spend way more time in Austin. Austin is really nice.
That's what they say. They keep it weird, right?
Yeah, I guess that's like a thing. So I was today years old when I found that out.
Okay. Nice. That's what it is. Did you link with Foreign Dre while we was out there?
I did. I linked with him.
I was going to say, it's only right.
I did. And then I also linked with my friend Ty out there. He is an artist manager as well out there, and his artists are based in Austin. So funny connection. And then I also linked with my childhood friend, and her mom was actually out there visiting from New York while I was out there. So I got to see her and her mom while I was out there.
Okay. So you was making your rounds.
Yeah. You know how I do. Yo, and you know how I do. I'd be out there talking to people. So I was the one day there's a wall of water out there in Houston. And it was walking distance from my hotel. So I was like, let me go check this out. I'll go read in the park for a little bit. So I'm out there and this lady sits next to me on the bench and she's like, what are you doing out here? So I start talking to her and it turns out that she had just...
I'd be like, yo, mind your business. That's how New York...
That's
how New York we are. We like, yo, what you asking questions for?
Yo, not me, right? So that's how I would talk to everybody. So it turns out that she had just visited New York and I'm thinking the city, right? So I'm like, where in New York? So it turns out that she had just been out here in Montgomery. So we started talking about the Hudson Valley and she's showing me pictures from the Ulster County Fairgrounds and all that. So she's like, what are you trying to do out here? And I'm like, I'm trying to go visit the Space Center. And she's like, I can get you into the Space Center. So I'm like, okay, I'm either getting into the Space Center or I'm getting trafficked because you know how that works in the world today. So she had one of her friends. So I link up with one of her friends the next day and they got me into the Space Center.
Oh, that's fire. For
For
the free ski?
Yeah. You know how I do.
There we go, man.
So I was like, I told them, I said, holler at me if you ever find yourself back in New York. So now I have new friends in Houston.
There you go, man. You've been paying attention to any of these new drops, any of these new topics? I know you was...
No, nothing. So when I go on vacation, I do media blackout and I don't pay attention to anything that's happening in the real world.
All right. So maybe I'm going to take the lead. We're going to catch everybody up to speed this week. Obviously, we didn't have an episode last week. We re-aired our interview with Susie. If you haven't, go check that out. Hit up Spotify, any of your DSPs. Make sure you go follow In the Field Radio.
Yeah, it's wherever you stream podcasts.
And that playlist is still jumping too. All right. So get in with me, man. Where do we start? Lil Nas X. All right. Obviously, we saw his little mishap last month. I feel like the news happened so quick that you probably weren't in our prayers anymore. But
at all,
right?
Not on anybody's radar.
I guess he's in some inpatient facility and he actually missed his court date, but the state of California gave him the okay to be out of state when his court date was supposed to be going down. Love and prayers and all that good stuff.
And he checked into treatment, I saw today, correct?
Yeah. Now, I probably would say the biggest news since we tapped in here was Young Thug and these jail files and yeah, it's been wild, and obviously there's more to go. You were locked up for quite some time, but yo,
chattiest patty of all time.
These weren't the tapes we wanted you to drop.
No, well, and based on what he was previewing, I do not want him to drop.
Yeah, that I Miss My Dogs, which was kind of like an apology to a lot of people. I mean, my biggest takeaway
too little,
to it.
Too late.
My thing really wasn't that it was a bad song, but I felt like even the song was chatty.
Yeah,
like you rapping to Drake, you telling him like, yo, you gave me money, so I respect you, even though we had our own differences, and I brought you with dude to talk so that we could kind of do this, but you didn't. Y'all was beefing over that, and it's like, yo, you ain't got to tell us that.
It was too much and too little too late all at the same time. Like, we've heard you say too much that now we just need you to not say anything at all for a little while. Like, you need to disappear and just stay quiet and fly under the radar until we forget about all of the things that you said.
Yeah. It's messy. Obviously, Mariah the Scientist got to be feeling a certain level of embarrassment, man. And
I feel for that girl. Let me tell you, as a female, you held that man down, and then these tapes come out, and he's talking about other females on the tapes and what he was doing before he got locked up, and he's talking to other females on the tapes. Girl, I feel for you.
Mariah the Scientist is actually going on her Heart Sold Separately tour, ironically, with the name, across Europe and North America. So her being on the move and going to do something productive might be the most beneficial for her.
Absolutely.
At this moment, I would definitely say. Did you hear the Glorilla? I don't know if it's AI. I don't know if it's real, but there's a Glorilla diss to Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist.
Yo, ironically enough, I was listening to a ton of Glorilla down south and didn't hear that.
Okay, so I don't know if it's real. But it's been circulating. Obviously, you can find it online. I don't think Glorilla's matched a statement to the song or it being released. So I'm leaning towards it's probably not. But nonetheless, very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Interesting. All the things that he talked about Gunna, for him to just be out here chatting to everybody about everybody.
There was recordings where you said, "Let me get your number. Take my number." Like, bro. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And if you know that exists, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got to be so anti cooperation.
Yeah. Or just be quiet. Again, just be quiet.
Yeah, you always have the right to remain silent.
Yeah. In this case, that applies as well.
As far as new music, there's plenty of new releases. I'm probably most anticipating this Mobb Deep album.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is, I think, coming the beginning of October. We obviously got Cardi B album coming up, which I wanted to say, I don't know if you've seen her promo for the album as of late.
Yeah, she hit the subway. She's doing the pop-ups. She's really out in the streets doing some hand-to-hand with the fans, reminiscent of the way that album rollouts used to drop.
That's what you would call guerrilla marketing.
Yes.
Right? Now, though entertaining, though it's obviously going to garner the shares, the likes, the clicks, the laughs, do you think that this is due to creativity, or I'm going to be obviously something that crosses my mind of this is lack of budget? We really don't want to drop unless you've got something rolling, you've got something cooking, and they're buzzing about it in anticipation. And I'm wondering if the funds have already been ran through. And
for me, I don't even think it's so much necessarily the funds have been ran through. I don't think it's the success. I don't think the singles were as successful as they thought they were going to be, and they've had to shift tactics.
But to do it in a manner that's literally free?
Yeah.
Why not put money behind marketing it?
Because I think this is one of those where the label has said, girl, you've been sitting on this for 7-8 years. What would make us put our money behind you at this point? You put your money behind it. You put your blood, sweat, and tears behind it.
Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say, like, I don't think this was like, yo, we sat in a boardroom and somebody was like, yo, this would be hilarious.
Yeah, no. No, I think the label was saying this is not hilarious at all. You figure it out.
Yeah, I'm interested
It
to see
feels
how.
very much that way, though. I think. Do you feel that way? I don't know. Sometimes I look at things a little bit differently.
I already know we're talking about like old pre-release songs from like a year or so ago are going to be on it.
Yeah.
You know, which obviously makes it, you know, first week, quote unquote, it sells a certain amount. Even though, you know, we weren't listening to this song for the past week. We've been listening to it for the past 2-3 years. I don't know what this means for her. I'm gonna be real. It's not looking the greatest. I hope that the music outperforms everything else we've been, you know, receiving.
I just think that the whole rollout feels really choppy, and I feel like maybe from the label standpoint, they feel like they've been rolling it out for the last 7 years. Maybe they're fatigued.
Yeah, and I mean, I know she is doing like the meet and greets, and like, you know, she'd be going around to like everybody's city, but even that, like, you're just doing meet and greets in cities to promote the album. That's not even like you on tour. So it's, I don't know. It just comes off
Have
to
they
me more
announced
so
a tour?
like back. No, not yet.
Interesting.
I mean, there's still talks that she might be pregnant. I don't know if that is the case, that you want to be touring.
So that was another thing.
Or that we want to have you out there touring when, you know, if you're in a 360, we're receiving money from your tours as well. We don't want you giving lackluster performances.
That was another thing. Was the pregnancy thing like a gimmick to try to like drum up some kind of like firestorm, like media firestorm? Was she trolling with that?
I'm not sure. I mean, they say that she was like wearing pads during her court case that kind of would give the illusion that her stomach was larger. And I did see like photos of her getting like, you know, obviously not on no weird stuff, but like photos of her getting like undressed after the case and kind of like laughing about it.
Yeah.
I'm really not too sure, if I'm keeping it real. I'm really not too sure at all.
There's just a lot of confusion surrounding this whole thing.
I feel like we kind of continue to talk as long as there's something to talk about, and it doesn't matter if it's true or false.
Or good or bad.
Yeah. Like, as long as everything points back to like who we need you to pay attention to,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of in the sense of like, you know, job done.
So interesting.
I don't know, man.
I'm real tapped into what she's doing, and I'm gonna be real tapped in to see like what her opening day numbers are, and then how the staying factor of this, because
like it does kind of remind me of like when artists would go to like the Virgin Mobile store the day of their release.
Yeah.
But like she's doing a meet and greet on like the 23rd at like a Walmart in Texas.
That's interesting. That's real interesting.
Yeah, look at your face right now. Mad cringed up. You're like, oh my gosh, Walmart. Yeah,
Walmart in
man.
Texas. It's not Virgin Megastore in Times Square.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's come to, man. The times have changed. So we've been talking about new releases. I told you that I was probably most hyped up for Mobb Deep. Infinite is the name. Now, mind you, I think they're saying that this was they haven't dropped since 2014 with the infamous Mobb Deep.
Jesus, has it been that long?
Yeah. But they just said that there was unfinished business, and actually right now we have my man Havoc from Mobb Deep is actually saying that he's going to be on tour with Raekwon after this release.
Yes, they actually like teased that at the end of the Wu-Tang show that I was at Madison Square Garden. So that was like, I was excited for that to happen. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of ticket prices for shows right now, so I can't say that I will necessarily be in the building, but
yeah,
that's a fire tour.
That's something worth going to.
Yeah.
You know, both obviously because the Wu-Tang just announced they will no longer go to tour as a collective.
Yeah.
And obviously with Prodigy passing away, Mobb Deep as a collective cannot be performing. So to see them kind of mash it together, I'm wondering how creative they'll get. Will they be spitting each other's counterparts, bars? Will it be very interwoven like that, or is it just like
you never know who will make an appearance at the New York show. That's always
that's for sure.
That always adds to it.
Now, I'd probably say some of the hottest things going on in music this past week were some interviews that came out. We do have Lizzo on $1 Million Worth of Game about to drop. I mean, the episode ain't the only thing dropping, man. She is looking like she lost a lot of weight.
Yes.
And it doesn't look unhealthy either.
No, she looks fantastic.
You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to her. I don't believe that's dropped yet, but they definitely been teasing it, and it definitely shows a lot of her personality. I knew she was funny. I knew she was likable from like I've heard like old interviews from like before she popped. But yeah, to see her joking with the guys and stuff like that is kind of hilarious. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think the biggest interview, and since we've been gone, we haven't even been able to tap in on it. And an hour is not enough time for me to get into it and unpack it the way I would like to. But the Hot 97 drama. DJ Enuff out of there. Okay. TT Torres out of there. Right? But Funk Flex. There's a lot of people pointing fingers. I mean,
they confirmed that? Have they confirmed that he was the one that caused the shakeup? Or is that just still speculation?
That's still speculation, but when you're pointing, you could easily say, hey, it wasn't me. But when you're going to point fingers at X, Y, and Z and say, yo, your people around you are snakes, you're pointing the finger and you causing me to believe something. And it's like, yo, if you know nothing, then you know nothing. You know, this is a VC, which is like a joint venture capital type scenario where, you know, they're looking to meet numbers and do spreadsheet things, not talent things and what's hot things. Moments. I feel like moments in radio is kind of a thing, or was a thing, I should say. You know, Breakfast Club had a lot of moments. I really can't look back and think of too many Hot 97 moments that didn't include maybe a Ebro.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Funk Flex himself used to have a lot of moments from the people that would pull up and freestyle, and I'm talking about through the 90s. I'm not talking about like last year or 2 years ago when Meek came. Like, but I think even as far as that, the last moment Flex had, aside from Otis, Tyler the Creator freestyle.
Because I don't know what's going on over there. Drake beef, like he was relevant for that, and that was how long ago?
For sure, pre 2016.
Dang, that was that long ago. Jesus,
it's gotta be. So, all in all, my big thing is, you know, DJ Enuff could really go anywhere, do his thing.
Absolutely, I see big things for him.
Heavy hitters. He's been getting so many bookings to where like people are kind of just like congratulating him, giving him his flowers. But he was on Drink Champs this week. And I want to say, did you listen to it? Yes, as drunk as N.O.R.E and them get there, it's a lot of sloppy interviews, and it's really, you know, chilling. You know, it really turns into just like chilling and getting sauced, and you know, you just think you're kind of in the room with them, but like it's very odd when you can't be drunk with them. But this was a great interview. DJ Enuff brought DJ Camilo with him. I love DJ Camilo.
Such a
he got to speak
DJ.
to a little bit of their history and being on radio, and they shouted out the younger DJs, Drewski, which they were saying, you know, Drewski's been up at Hot 97 for the past 17 years.
Yeah.
Y'all think he's new because y'all been seeing him the past 3. But
in the Field alumni, he's been on the show.
If you can't come, like they're saying, like, yo, you can't pop when you're new via radio. So these young artists are going through Drewski.
Yes.
And they kind of just spoke to like how radio is. Like, yo, there's money in radio. You get told what to play. You got to play it this many times an hour. Which I want to shout out WVKR. Y'all are not putting no type of strangulation on what's going on.
Yeah, shout out to non-commercial radio. That's why we have the freedom to play what we play.
The rest of like the personalities and DJs from there, they're like going live, but explaining what's not going on more than they are explaining what is going on.
It's not so it's things are still being shaken up.
It's coming off like nobody's spot is necessarily solidified, and if they could save some dollars and cut some extra meat off pause, then that's pretty much what they're doing.
That's unfortunate. Listening to those types of interviews, it gives you some, you know, insider type information to like what's going on at those stations and the politics surrounding it, and it's interesting.
I mean, Pro Styles is at a different radio station that's not Hot or Powered 105, right? He's at like KTU or whatever it's called. I mean, DJ Envy switched up. DJ Envy went to Power. I feel like he could, but I also feel like there might be greater opportunities than just that.
I remember when Angie left, it was like, whoa.
for sure. Anything that you wanted to address before I go dig in my bag of who needs advice this week? My fault. I'm going through this bag of questions, and I'm like, sorry to anybody who writes anything elongated, but it's like, yo, if it's too long, it's just like, nah, we're not going with this one. Here we go. This one's a little lengthy, but I actually like the header, so we actually are gonna roll with this one right here. I'm gonna try to skim through this as fast as I can. I'm a 30-year-old male, and my girlfriend is 23 years old. Hey, feel how y'all want to feel about that, right? I care deeply about her, and the family is extremely dysfunctional. Honestly, can't even imagine being any closer with them. Yo, her mom is the center of the chaos. She's in love with having a baby, but dislikes actually parenting later on. Instead, she lashes out in anger over small things, apologizes, admits she was wrong, and the cycle just continues. Her oldest son walks all over her. He's 14 and he's drinking and smoking. He's screaming to get attention, showing his weakness. Their mom enables both the boys, but she comes down hardest on her daughters, my girlfriend and her sister. They're both hardworking, kind, and the mom is constantly just criticizing and manipulating them emotionally. The dad is just physically present. He never says anything. He's not shielding the kids from their mother in any way. Here's where my struggle comes in. I'm fine attending birthdays and major holidays when I'm around her. It's a short, polite conversation. Nothing deeper, but my girlfriend wants me to actually be building a relationship with them and go to the family outings. When we first got together, I told her honestly that I might never like her family. You can't say that, bro. Right? She said that was okay, but she recently is now admitting that I should be wanting to warm up to them, and she's disappointed that I haven't. What is the healthiest way to set these boundaries with my girlfriend's family without hurting our relationship? I'm gonna let you take this away.
Oh, you're not finna set those boundaries. This is it.
So, how old did he say he was 30?
Yeah, I was like.
And what was Shorty? 22?
23.
23? Hold on.
This is one of those situations where this might just not work. Like, if
bro, your Shorty is. Oh, go ahead.
Like, if y'all don't you don't get along with the family, she wants you to get along with the family. You're too old for this to be happening.
Y'all two got plenty of growing up to do, and not in the sense that either of you are immature, but it's just y'all are both still at a young age, especially your girl, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and the age difference really ain't a problem. Like, there's people that whatever, they got their own opinions and emotions about that. My thing is more so the age that your girl is, she's probably reliant in a variety of ways on her family. Or her family, you know what I mean? It sounds like this might not be the healthiest type of vibe, or, they may not be doing the greatest. Like, her family might be relying on her. You're the oldest, you got younger brothers, younger siblings, the dad's kind of just around, Well,
that's the other thing too. It sounds like the dad's not super present.
He said that he's only physically present, but he don't really give his opinion or his 2 cents and anything else like that. My big thing,
it sounds like dad's checked out.
Like, the parents aren't going to grow any older and become anything different. Shorty's got growing to do. You got growing to do. The reality is, how much are you even feeling Shorty to be like, yo, I'm about to cause this divide between me, you, and your parents, bro? It's like, you might go somewhere someday. The parents ain't.
That's why I feel like this is one of those situations that, like, I feel like it's like being at my big age. I feel like from my experience that when you have problems like this, they just become bigger problems. It's really hard to work through problems like this and come out on the other side in a healthy situation that ends up working, especially at that age.
And if this is what you already noticing from the family, and
yeah,
obviously you hold yourself to a certain standard or pride yourself on the family you come from, if you notice these things and say like, hey, yo, I'm not feeling that for a family dynamic, but put this into perspective that, like, then you wouldn't want to create a family based off of this family. You know what I mean? You don't want to marry into this family. And it's like, bro, this isn't like Romeo and Juliet, bro. You're not going to whisk Shorty away from her family and like live some fairy tale vibe. So
and when you try to force that, like, that's why I say, like, don't try to make it into something it's not, and just recognize that off rip, because something that I've learned is that you need to look for in someone a family dynamic that you're looking for. Don't try to create something that isn't there. if the family dynamic in that family isn't what you're looking for, you're probably not gonna get that from her. Like that's all she knows.
It's gonna be what your family comes from.
That's what she knows, right? So she's not gonna like she hasn't learned anything different than what she's been taught. And
he didn't really speak too much on like how he's living, but like, yo, you might even just be Shorty's escape from the family. Like you 30, you might got your own little pad, you know what I mean? She could slide through, you know, she could smoke here. Oh, yo, it's lit. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's also where I feel like sometimes that age difference, like, so like your brain doesn't stop forming until you're 25. So like from 23 to 30 is like not a big age difference, but it is a big age difference because from 23 to 25, it can be a big age difference because you mature a lot between 23 and 25. So like she's probably not even thinking about like, yo, I want to settle down and start a family. But like when she gets to that age, it might be a whole different dynamic than what he's looking for. And it sounds like at 30, he kind of has an idea that he doesn't want what she has. You know what I mean? But when she starts thinking about it, it's probably not what he wants.
Yeah.
And it definitely doesn't sound.
Answer.
It definitely doesn't sound like he wants to be part of her family. And so my advice to him is to run, because you're not going to take somebody away from their family. It's just one of those things that's an uphill battle that you just don't want to fight.
But on the real, you want to get you want to get her away from her family, bro? Call CPS, bro. drop the anonymous tip.
There you go.
There's some 14-year-olds smoking weed up in the house, man. All right, something must be done. Yo, man. Anyway, man, before we get on out of here, y'all, I do want to talk about something I seen on Netflix, man. This Charlie Sheen doc is out. I'm not really jacking it. I'm really not a fan of him, so it didn't capture my attention like that.
I thought you were going to talk about the mom that catfished her daughter.
Yo, so there's some catfish out there. The shortest summarization. Yo, there's a young girl that's out here getting anonymous bogus numbers, texting her, you know, saying crazy wild things, commenting
telling her to
on her
unalive herself.
Like, yeah, like talking about like, yo, your man wants me and this is what I be doing with him. You know what I mean? Mind you, these kids are like 14, right? Yo, this 13. Persists for like 20 something months, which, you know, to give you the scope, you know, because that's what girls say when they have a kid. They'd be like, yo, my kid's 20 months. Be like, yo, he about to be 2, all right? But yeah, 2 years later, and it's like still going on. They end up cracking the case, and yo, you could probably just turn your phone off now, or whatever you're listening to for probably the next 2 minutes if you want. But yo, when it ended up being the mom's,
yo, and she
you
had
did
no
that
good
to your
reason.
own daughter.
No good reason.
No reason at all. Her only reason was because someone initially started doing it. So I continued it. It wasn't me. I wasn't really the person initially. Yo, don't trust nobody.
Literally no one. You can't even trust your moms.
Yo, that was wild. And her mom was pointing in the direction of like everywhere. Oh, check this girl. What about this girl? She scored 12 points last night. Yo, your mom was the scorekeeper and was dropping hints like, yo, it's me. I had 12 points last Friday.
Yo,
they're going back
crazy.
To the stat sheet like, oh yeah, you know, Chloe is a little bit of a troublemaker.
Yes.
Yo,
I was just gonna say, like, was out here like framing other teenage girls. And then the dad was a G, because when they found out it was the mom, he was like, yo, pack your ish and get out.
Let's go.
You.
Yo, my man literally said, so what's up with the job? Yo, come to find out, Shorty was lying, saying she had 2 jobs and had gotten fired for both. But
like a year earlier.
Because harassing her daughter was consuming too much of her time.
Yo, that was her full-time job, was telling her daughter to unalive herself. That was her full-time job.
And telling, yo, stop wearing those spandex, your butt's flat. Yo, like what? Yo, mom was saying some of the craziest stuff.
Yo, but like, even like when she went to
you're
jail.
Anorexic. You can't give him what he wants. I will. And it's like, yo, but you saw how the boyfriend's mom was like, yo, this lady had my son. Can I say that on the radio? I'm sorry.
Not the D word. But when she went to jail, she was just acting like things were normal. Like she was calling her daughter and being like, yo, like, what'd you do at school today? Like it was like she wasn't.
And it seems like she was overdoing it. Like, hey, my love, my ray of sunshine, my beautiful. And it's like, yo, mom, you talking to her like you a young chick talking to your man trying to get back into like good graces.
Yo, that was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, man.
I gotta watch that again.
It be those closest to you, man. So, watch
It's
out.
your man's. It's always your man's.
It's always your man's. Your mom's is your man's.
It's your mom's. I'm saying that from now on. It's always your mom's. Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Erin Boogie. I'm here with Rapz.
You know what it is.
It's been another Monday night, another 10 p.m.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. Love that. I got to put that on something.
I know we do have to. We gotta. We should first of now. You know what? I'm gonna say it off air. But you know what? It's been another fantastic episode of In the Field Radio here at WVKR.
Houston, we have a problem.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what it is, man. And we out of here, yo. We going to pay some bills. Like that's what they say. We going to pay some bills.
Yo, forget these bills. We out.